This is Idaho News 6.
Longest ever Idaho legislative session has been filled with unusual events and ended in uncharted territory late last night, shortly before midnight. Good evening. We appreciate you joining us over the air or finding Idaho News 6 on Roku. I'm Karen Lair.
And I'm Don Nelson. The Senate and House have been at odds with each other and the governor for the 122 days of the session, and it's no different for how they plan to end it. Now, the Idaho Senate voted to officially adjourn while the House voted to only recess. So how did we get here? The regular session started after an extraordinary session was called last August because of the pandemic. The 66th legislature garnered national attention at points, with lawmakers turning down a federal grant to fund early childhood education, a grant that still has not been accepted by the state.
Lawmakers also passed legislation that would prohibit indoctrination of critical race theory in state-funded education, plus a bill that makes it harder to get citizen-led initiatives on any Idaho ballot. Other session irregularities included a 2-week recess after several lawmakers tested positive for COVID-19 and one representative resigning following an ethics investigation after being accused of rape by a state house intern. Well, that brings us to now. Lawmakers inside the House want the power to come back into session at any time, while the Senate voted to adjourn until next year.
And that begs the question, can they do that under the Idaho Constitution? Our Jake Garcia takes a deeper look.
Sine die, adjournment, recess, all words we've heard as this legislative session comes to a halt, but not an official end. But what does the Constitution say? We asked former Idaho Attorney General Dave Leroy this question.
Well, the Constitution of Idaho and the section related to the legislature does not use the word recess. It uses the word adjourn. But in section 10 of Article 3, it talks about adjourning from day to day, which is the equivalent of a recess. It also, in section 9, says that neither house may adjourn, meaning recess, or meaning terminate, perhaps both, without the concurrence of the other for more than 3 days.
Idaho's Attorney General sent a letter today to the House and Senate leadership saying, based upon the House's lack of concurrence, the Senate's adjournment, sine die, may be of limited legal effect. When the House returns, if it does not adjourn sine die, then the Senate will likely have 3 days in which to return. Now things are in the hands of House Speaker Scott Bedke, who will decide if and when the House will be brought back into session.
So it's really interesting to see this expansion of the time that they're in session. And increasingly, it seems like an interest of some within the legislature to be in session more and in order to address issues as they come up rather than kind of getting in and getting out.
In a statement from the Idaho Republicans caucus, Speaker Bedke said in part, quote, "It's important to remember that no one is looking to create a full-time legislature, but we must make sure we can fulfill our constitutional responsibilities should the unforeseen occur again." Jake Garcia, Idaho News 6.
Governor Brad Little faced a fair amount of opposition from conservatives in his own party during the session. Today, he commented on the legislature and the Senate's decision to adjourn and the House of Representatives voting to recess. He made note of the positives, school funding, infrastructure support, and tax cuts, but he did frown on the length of the session, saying that the record session is nothing to aspire to, adding, quote, "This is Idaho, not Washington." Citizens expect legislators to get in, do the work of the people, and leave expeditiously. That is what the Idaho Constitution intended. Little went on to say the unknown end of the session date creates problems in state government operations.
Well, the full implications of technically keeping the session going are not fully clear, though lawmakers have said they want to say in spending decisions in the event the state receives another large infusion of unanticipated federal funding. House Speaker Scott Bedke says he won't call lawmakers back unless there is more federal aid to distribute. The GOP believes the boost in education funding is a good thing, while Democrats say it's still not enough and lawmakers lost a rare opportunity to boost funding even more. Democrats are also upset with the property tax bill, saying it actually provides little relief and will force cuts to essential services on the local level. For complete coverage of this session, the chaos, and the future fallout, just head to idahonews6.com for all the latest updates from inside the State House.